We've made 5, boys, of 1-4 podcast. I am the overweight cruiserweight, Jamie Bell. With me, the African Swede sensation, Kate Johansson.
Hello, hello.
And again, because you're a prick, the Coca-Cola kid, not the Pepsi kid, Callum McInnes. Say hello.
Hello.
Yeah, because he shaved his beard off and broke a pact that we had. And making his return after a 2-week absence, proverbial Crimson Mask, Mr. James Coggin.
Boom.
He's back.
We've missed him.
I've missed him.
I missed him.
Pyro, just everywhere.
I'll edit pyro in now.
Yeah. Because you've been a big disappointment to me today.
You need to get over this.
I'll never get over this.
Guys, handbags aside.
Yeah. Sorry,
Time to
yeah.
hot shop.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, again, thank you for everyone downloading. New listeners, we're 4 friends who are very passionate. We love wrestling. Any promotion you want us to talk about, we'll talk about. So yeah, keep doing them downloads, we appreciate it. So saying that, straight on boys to this week's heat. 5-star wrestling, free sports. Kate, this is a subject you're near and dear to.
Yeah, so last week we kicked things off putting over PCW, Preston City Wrestling, on about they announced that they had a deal with Free Sports TV to one of their shows in October. It's then, I think a day after.
I'm pretty sure it was just after I finished editing the last podcast.
Yeah,
put it up, and then you tweeted or messaged me saying it's been cancelled.
They waited till we were done, they screwed us over. They waited.
So, the story is Free Sports have decided not to go with Preston City Wrestling, and they're going with the infamous, 5-star wrestling.
5-star.
Basically, it's negative 5-star wrestling. They're a joke, and that's why they're on this week's heat.
Rip 'em, Kate.
Go on, Kate. Bury him. Get your shovel out.
I just don't get why you do it when it's a company that's created games, thought they could play, wrestling company. They've done, I think, 3 or 4 different shows, fair shows, great card like they had AJ Styles and Rey Mysterio, Jay Lethal, people like that. But it was gimmicked finishes nearly every single match, loads of different run-ins, and it pisses me off. Like, it was on Spike TV and they did a live show, and it was British wrestling to Spike TV. The only British wrestlers was Drew McIntyre and Magnus with Joe Hendry on commentary, because they decided that the British guys should be using the pre-show, and showcasing British wrestling should be WWE alumni like Carlito.
That pisses in the face of the whole UK scene.
Exactly.
That's ridiculous.
That is a real shame. And then, so they've been struggling, yet they have the audacity of, we're going to do a 124-man tournament that's going to be on Spike TV, doing 30 arenas across the country. Like, I like their ambition, but look, I'd like to shag some porn stars, but I've got the ambition. I've got the ambition.
Were you realistic? Is that what you're saying?
I'm realistic. Like, say Maurice, Nikki Bella. It's not going to happen.
Well, they're porn stars now, aren't they?
They're still very attractive.
You got him that shovel and you're digging this hole that he's getting further into.
So, to set it straight, very attractive women. I'd like to go there. Realistically, it's not going to happen. 5-star, you want to do 124-man tournaments and 30 arena it's not going to happen.
Offering Punk $1 million.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing, isn't it? Yeah. They said they were going to get CM Punk for $1 million.
$1 million.
Oh my god,
yeah. $1 sorry. True story. Because
God.
Punk knows all 5-star wrestling now, doesn't he?
Oh, I think he does now. He will have heard about that, but there's not a chance CM Punk would wrestle for 5-star wrestling.
No. But
for $1 million?
Put the ice,
even for $1 million, he's got too much money. He quits WWE and then his first appearance back in a wrestling ring with 5-star wrestling.
But I don't know. So this tournament didn't happen. They didn't even get to do one show. They said they cancelled it because of the Manchester bombings that happened at the Ariana Grande concert. But it just... Mate, you know who it is. You know what happened.
No, I mean Ariana Grande.
Yeah, you know who she is. You know what happened.
Tell you what, she's better than fucking Foo Fighters. Carry on.
Yeah.
That's just another bell.
Let me vape whilst watching her.
Crack on. Thanks for announcing my retirement from the podcast.
So back to it. Yeah. So they cancelled the show. used that as an excuse of they didn't think it was going to be safe. It was kind of clear that ticket sales were down. Nobody seemed to be bothered about refunds or anything like that. And a lot of workers like Joe Coffey, Will Ospreay had committed to say these 30 dates, and then they were out of pocket. They've lost so much money because OneFall thought they could.
OneFall?
Hey, 5
Don't
star.
bring us into this.
Yeah.
Hang on a minute.
So 5 star thought they could go for.
That'll be on Botchamania.
Yeah. But so, what's your thoughts on 5 star getting the TV deal?
I'm gutted, to be honest. PCW have been putting on some really good shows recently. They've, like you said last week, they've stopped using all the imports and they've really switched to a focus on British wrestling. And you'd think that's what a British TV network would want, but they just want the American style professional wrestling. That's what 5 Star's going to give them, and it's not going to even be slightly as good. That's just me.
I'm unfamiliar with 5 Star. I've not really watched 5 Star. I don't plan on doing it. But for someone who's been to PCW,
don't
they
get me
do
wrong,
put on a really good shows.
They'll have the talent. It's not that. They'll still probably have really good matches. It's just the way the company comes across. They just seem. It seems like a very carny run company.
Like a flash in the pan.
Yeah.
You never know. Like they don't give themselves a chance for long-term storytelling because they never know if they'll be able to put on the next show.
Yeah.
And that's a real shame because you would think now, with the amount of kind of indie promotions popping up, like the wrestling industry is thriving more and more, and it's opportunities like this that are fantastic. Hopefully, we'll be proven wrong. And 5 Star will see this as a fantastic opportunity to kind of rectify the reputation that they may have inadvertently given themselves. But as we've said, it's just a shame to see PCW missing out on this deal.
I just can't see people buying tickets. You've seen the prices.
150, no, 250 is it?
£150 for the VIP tickets, which will get them meet and greets, front 2 rows. So you could spend 150 quid and not even being guaranteed front row, but you would because I don't think that
no one's buying that many.
They'd fill 2 rows of 150 quid. Then the floor seats are 45. Liverpool, so the tiered seats are £30, and then like the crap seats are 15.
And I believe at the bottom it just says "and more."
Oh yeah, so VIP guaranteed early access, meet and greets, VIP of 2 rows, exclusive limited edition signed merchandise, and more.
I want to know what that means.
And more.
Is it a reach around from the promoter?
It could be. It could be. If it's a she, I'll take that. But
that's a big ask, and again, that's you're scaring people off. If you're meant to be pulling people in with named performers, you shouldn't be trying to get 10 people through the door paying an extortionate amount. You want as many people as possible that can go off and tell their friends, "Oh, I had such a great time. You should come down." And then more people start turning up, and more people. It seems like so counterproductive. It seems very, very short-sighted.
But even when there was running shows, it was all criticism.
Yeah.
I've never heard a good review for 5 Star.
If you have a look on Twitter, most of the talent who used to be on the shows and talent who haven't
even Jack Gallagher,
they're all slagging off 5 Star wrestling. And if all the talent are doing it, you know there's something not quite right.
Yeah, I think. Jimmy Havoc got into a Twitter war with Free Sports about it.
Yeah, he did.
I think Free Sports' response was to Jimmy Havoc mentioning that it's a company that produces a game, was Jose Mourinho played Football Manager before he started managing or something. Football Manager wasn't even out when before Jose Mourinho was managing. But so I thought, right, I'm gonna tweet him, and I was like, I'm great at TEW. I've got no roster. I've got no tickets sold. And I've got no fans, so kind of what you've already gone for, can I get a TV deal as well?
TEW is a fantastic game.
Their response was, if you can offer £450,000 worth of production, then yeah. So I think that's how much.
What a cop-out answer.
So I think 5 Star, I've gone to them and said, our production value will be £450,000
per show.
I don't know if it's per, I doubt it's per show, but
that's ridiculous.
I think for the set, whatever they've signed on for with them, 450,000 production value.
What's TEW?
Total Extreme Warfare.
Wrestling.
Wrestling.
Okay.
EWR's the one, isn't it? Yeah.
Like a video game.
It's a football manager for wrestling.
Oh, cool, right, okay.
I think I told you before.
Did you?
One of
Cool,
our
you'd
road,
like it.
one of our road trips where I was like, these are like my storylines.
Oh, I think you have. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm forgetful. I can't.
Put many hours into that.
Yeah,
Yeah. I'm like the most forgetful guy you've ever met, though.
You are.
If you've told me,
But yeah,
I
so
will remember.
basically that was our heat. Like, hopefully, like 5-star prove us wrong.
I hope they do.
Well, we want any wrestling promotion to
They'll do
succeed,
well,
don't we? You
but-
know, as wrestling fans, but
Like what Will Ospreay said, though, if you are aware when you're going to go with them, make sure you get some sort of payment up front because so many people was left out of pocket, and
Good advice.
especially because I think it just came after the World of Sport cancellation,
Yeah.
which Joe Coffey was on as well. So to get those dates cancelled, then all the dates one fall again. 5-star was.
it's really trying to get us in shit here, isn't it, with this?
I think it's because it's a number 1-5. Where I don't know. I'm not with it today.
There's a big difference between 1 and 5. There's like 2, 3, and 4 in between. Just didn't know if you knew that.
Alright, so moving on from 5-star wrestling, should we talk about Raw SmackDown?
Raw SmackDown. I thoroughly enjoyed Raw SmackDown.
I'll
this
just
week.
say, me and James have been out of the country for the last few days. I have seen most of Raw and SmackDown, but have not had any time to like. I usually like to watch it a few times each segment, but
I like to keep updated with like the Bleacher Report and things like that, just kind of highlighting everything that I missed, because unfortunately we do kind of have our lives and
lives
we're not
outside
able
of
to-
wrestling.
I know it's
I've
hard
just
to
been
believe.
in the pub.
You've been in the pub,
Been in the pub.
and have you
Yeah.
watched Raw and SmackDown?
I have watched Raw SmackDown.
Right,
Right,
well,
so
you,
tell us what you
you
thought
can
then.
start then. You
I
can tell us what
thoroughly
you
enjoyed
liked.
it this week.
Yeah.
Well, starting with Raw, I mean, the opening match, I think Jason Jordan is really, really putting himself in a really good position. I think he's making himself look amazing hanging with these guys. Reigns, Cena.
It's been pretty cool the last
Kid
couple of
can go.
weeks. Yeah, like how he had that really good match with Cena.
Yeah.
Reigns says you just lost to you beat a rookie, but it took you
20
too long
minutes
to
with
do.
it, yeah.
And then the next week he has that really good match with Roman Reigns,
Yeah.
and he looks brilliant against both of them.
Because I think
very
the story-
clever booking.
I think the storyline was shit, this whole cat angle something. I think it's kind of...
I've forgotten about that.
Yeah. I think he's redeeming himself by just showing how good he is in the ring. This kid can go.
I don't think that'd be enough though.
I don't think he has a
because-
personality yet.
They've, they've got to be careful. Because, like, I'm starting to see like tremors of the past happening here, because the world's greatest tag team, Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas, the exact same thing happened. The tag team got split up. Shelton Benjamin went over to Raw. In his first week as a singles competitor, he almost beat Triple H. He got him over.
Did beat him.
Huge.
He did beat Triple
Did
H.
he beat?
He did
Was it
beat-
the road?
Yeah, he gave him that close one in
Yeah,
the corner,
and he
rolled him
flipped
up.
him
Yeah,
over
yeah,
the road,
yeah.
rolled.
Yeah.
Huge, absolutely huge. And then Charlie Haas, you know, he was just kind of floating about, bouncing from tag team, trying to do different things, changing his gimmicks on SmackDown. Nothing really kind of held, which is a real shame because he was arguably just as
Charlie Haas was
competent-
good.
Yeah, just
Very
as
good.
competent
Very
in
good.
the ring as Benjamin. And now, ironically, with everything that's happened between Gable and Jordan, look who's returned.
Yeah.
And look who's putting in his weight already. Benjamin, back to form, hasn't missed a step. Awesome to see him back on SmackDown.
Yeah. I agree.
So now we need to kind of be careful here because hopefully they'll learn. I mean, they've rectified kind of immediately. Okay, so we've got Jordan is now on Raw, so we need to fix the tag team before it kind of breaks apart, and then we lose a very talented guy. And it's really nice as well because hopefully
They're not gonna last. I'll put that. They're not gonna last.
Do you not think so?
I still see a Benjamin
No.
heel turn at some
I
point.
agree.
They're not gonna last.
Yeah.
Benjamin's going to turn heel.
I think
Yeah.
so.
Hopefully they'll let it play out for a bit, but yeah, it's not gonna last. But going back to Jordan, since we're on Raw, like I like the angle thing. I think it'll always give him some sort of credibility to be attached to Kurt Angle, even though something might not be going down the line now. It can always go down the line. So let's face it, if he turns heel and then he's getting in Angle's face and whatever, that can be a really good storyline to tell. I just don't think him putting in great in-ring performances week in, week out will do it. Him as a face is horrible on the mic and it's cringe-worthy.
I don't think he has a personality
We
like
saw
what you
that
said. He's missing the
I
personality.
think if he turned heel, he'd have a great personality.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
He's got that like
Cocky swag about him.
cocky jock
Yeah.
attitude, like collegiate wrestler.
Yeah.
It could easily play. That
across
smile
as
he's got. Yeah.
It speaks for itself. It's like when Angle first debuted and he came out and he was acting like he was God's gift. You know, the way that they built him up in all of the vignettes and everything, it all lined up to be, I'm better than you. Look at how good I am. I am so much better than everybody else, and everybody booed him. Despite the fact that he was a national champion, he was a collegiate, he was an Olympian, he represented America, he was the greatest, cut from the finest cloth, and everybody booed the shit
Even in his hometown.
Even in his own town. And I don't know if you've seen the 60 Minutes documentary about him
I haven't watched it yet.
on the
No,
Netflix.
it's on my ginormous list of things to watch.
He turned around to McMahon and he was like, there is no way that my hometown is going to boo me. Are you kidding me? Because he made his first TV appearance jumping the barrier and getting in somebody's face, and everyone was cheering him. It was amazing. It was just after he won the gold medals. Straight away, on his debut, came out with a mic, talking about the 3 eyes. Boo, boo, you suck.
He couldn't believe it, could he? He couldn't believe it.
I'm sorry, he does not suck.
I do see a John heel turn in the future though.
Yeah.
It would
If
fit.
he turns heel, he'll become world champion or universal champion someday.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Maybe whether or not he'll win it as a heel, but I think he needs that heel to elevate him to the top. It's just they can't book for baby faces. Look how Seth Rollins has fallen from.
When he was injured, he had potential to return absolutely white hot as a face.
It's just a shit story.
But he returned as a fucking heel.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
then 2-3 months later, he's a baby face anyway.
Face now.
Yeah.
So for the past few weeks, John Cena, Roman Reigns has been the most talked about thing, like the segments. Again, Cena and Reigns, mic battle. What was your thoughts to that?
I love it.
I absolutely love it as well.
I'm so invested in this feud, just from these mic battles.
Kate, you were saying before you had a problem with how it ended. That one.
Yeah, so I thought it was quite good. Like at first, when Roman was like, "I've had more great matches in 2 years than you have your whole career," I was like, and I guess that's what Cena was like. You need to do your own work, kid, and that. Like, I don't even have to bury him, he's burying himself. I thought that was quite amusing. The thing that I did, like, the best thing about that was when it was like, let's face it, Reigns was to Cena, let's face it, you need WWE, like, because you can't break into Hollywood, y'all.
Yeah.
It was like,
I know a guy.
I'm serious, man, if you need help,
Yeah.
I know a guy.
Yeah.
Amazing. And then, it was like, the thing that I didn't like was, at No Mercy, consider me as your drug test, Holmes, because you ain't getting past me. And I thought it was like, oh, you got the reaction, but I thought it just didn't need to be said.
Would you compare it to when the Usos brought up the
sex
thing?
thing?
The sex thing, like against the New Day.
However, that was very cryptic. So
it was tongue in cheek, and it was very
kids wouldn't pick up on that. Whereas kids are drug test, not getting past him, like.
What does that mean?
Yeah, whereas the whole Uso thing, like, don't go all rated R like your boy Xavier Woods.
Yeah, read between the lines.
Yeah,
kind of
whereas
thing,
this was blatantly, look.
Roman Reigns did drugs.
Yeah. And I thought, that's, for somebody that's got a lot of kids, I thought that was quiet.
How many you got? Sorry.
Someone that's got a lot of younger fans. Yeah.
Sorry.
So this is Jamie, like, because it doesn't put anything valuable, like, in the description. He'll just try and do a little dig now.
I've lost the fucking thing. That's it.
There's no reading
you guys do
between the
this,
lines
right?
there.
That's it, we've got Owens and
That's
Cena
it.
right
What
here.
you guys do with this, yeah?
I'm
Alright?
years later, okay, I've got kids. But, no, for somebody that's got a lot of kids in his fan base, Jamie, okay, so I just thought it was not necessary, or just finishing on that. Again, it was Cena finishing on the punchline.
Did anyone else realise when Roman Reigns said ticket sales have never been better and that's because of me? I saw a picture on Twitter where it showed half of the arena was empty during that promo.
I saw that.
Oh my god!
And I think that's why Reigns looks around a little bit in the arena.
Cena did it, and
yeah.
Not being funny, but ticket sales aren't great. Like, live events are the lowest they've ever been. Like, apart from TV tapings, they're still okay, but live events, it's half, like, Impact get more for their TV than some live events that WWE are getting now.
Is that true?
From some of the pictures that I've seen,
I've seen the
WWE
pictures.
getting
I've
very
seen them, but
like after the arena's tipped
GFW
off, innit?
get more.
Yeah.
GFW have been picking up with their like obviously GFW I think give out some free tickets and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but,
there'll be a lot of comps to fill arenas.
but
Yeah.
these the live events don't look that great
That's
from
crazy.
the pictures that I've seen at the moment.
Right.
Braun.
Yes,
Strowman.
Braun and Lesnar.
Braun.
It's
You
just-
want to talk about someone that's white hot.
Yeah.
You want to talk about them missing the ball with Rollins on his return. This guy is more than making up for it. Holy shit! This guy, he can do no wrong now.
I just love the fact that when he was called out of Lesnar in a fight, he just came straight out. Didn't bat an
Yeah.
eye, he just walked straight down that ring.
In his
Got
head.
in there and beat the shit out of Lesnar.
He knows he can beat the shot of Lesnar.
Yeah.
Why would he
That
flinch?
German was brilliant though, where he just stood straight up and Lesnar looked as if he shat himself.
How good is Lesnar? How good is Lesnar at selling?
He's always been good at selling.
He's an amazing seller. He really is.
You know, his selling reminds me of Regal. There's something there's something not quite natural about the way that he falls. Like it looks like he has been hit.
Yeah.
And he's falling over like he's genuinely being hurt.
Like he hasn't bumped.
Yeah, he's not. He's not. Ooh, make sure it's a flat back bump. It's no. He got kicked in the side. He's going to stagger to his side. Everything
He's
about
so good.
him is just. Yeah, it's awesome. It's one of the same reasons why I loved Regal back in the Attitude Era.
His selling is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely
really
awesome.
But it's.
Do you remember that chokeslam he took from The Undertaker that time? And he went about 8 feet in the air.
Like he was spring heels.
Yeah.
Just never stopped.
And he just came down so perfectly, and he bounced about on a break foot in the air afterwards. It's just an amazing seller. Yeah. Moonsault. Spiked it on the way down.
He's a selling machine, isn't he? He's a selling machine. I think he's one of the best sellers I have ever seen.
And it's weird as well to think that somebody his size, somebody that doesn't need to have that as a skill. You know, when you think about the traditional kind of schools and approaches of like learning how to wrestle and stuff, a lot of people like their entire like reference for wrestling is learning how to bump, learning how to sell for other people. He doesn't have to do that.
No.
The guy is a monster. He's a machine.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to do that. But then when you've got somebody like him, well, I guess that you could argue that's the reason why when he first came into the Fed and he was feuding with Taker, it's the reason why that feud was so successful, because you've got this young guy who is basically a great white shark in human form, taking on like the Phenom, absolutely ginormous guy. It's Clash of the Titans, and we're seeing that again.
Role reversal this time.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I mean, it's great to see Big Show like being in better health with him losing so much weight and taking care of himself, but he can't go the way that he used to. Taker's gone, Kane's gone, all of the big guys, all the Titans, they've been chopped down. All the great fucking redwoods are all being chopped down. We're losing them all, and now we've got this guy that's come out of nowhere. This young guy. His name is literally Muscle Strongman. Let's just call him Muscle Strongman. That's it. You know, it's like what happens if Vince's biceps had a child.
Yeah.
and there he is taking on, you know,
Muscle Strongman versus Brock Lesnar.
You know, the guy that F5'd the shark.
Fucking pal.
It's absolutely amazing, and I can't wait for this clash. I would argue whether you believe that you know the outcome or not is irrelevant. It's going to be an entertaining match. It's great to see him proving wrong all the people when there was speculation a few years ago about him having a match with like Taker at Mania, him having like these huge profile matches, these title matches against people like a year or two ago. He's going to be in the main event picture, and people were like, nah, that's never happening. The guy wearing the trousers that make him look like he has a piss stain, all this stuff, you know, he's proven them all wrong. It's absolutely fantastic to see.
Oh yeah, personally, that back then I remember talking to one of my friends, and when it was Braun having the feud with Sami Zayn, and I was like, I want Braun to win. He's like, really?
Yeah.
And just because Sami came off the Indies, he's like, he should be beating this Braun. Braun's not worthy to be beating Sami Zayn. I'm like, Braun's gonna be like, Braun will be
a big name.
He's like, no, he's green, and then
He was green, but
He's
he improved
still
so quickly.
Yeah, Reigns was green when he was in the Shield.
Yeah.
Come on, let's not.
There's nothing wrong with everyone's a bit green when they first start.
Yeah.
But how do you build a star if
I liked it, and I was like, he should be beating people like Sami Zayn, and Like, now look
Do you
at
have
his-
beef with Sami Zayn, Kurt?
No.
There's just a couple of things you've said recently which make me think you've got beef with Sami Zayn.
No, I don't have any beef with Sami Zayn.
Okay.
We'll
See if you get blocked on Twitter soon.
So, Asuka.
Coming to Raw.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that? Right? Wrong?
I think it's right.
What did we call before?
I
Did
think
we
I
say
said
SmackDown?
SmackDown.
We all agree.
I think we all said SmackDown.
Yeah, but I think since SummerSlam and since like the way that the shape of the women's division on SmackDown is kind of, we've got this weird kind of thing going on with Carmella, obviously still in the chase with the Money in the Bank. We've got Natalya seemingly holding her own as the champ. How many times has she at least one, maybe two retains on live shows? Against Naomi. They don't need to get over the sharpshooter because the sharpshooter gets itself over. But she's been winning multiple times with a submission. I mean, that leans into what I was saying before a few weeks ago about seeing more submission finishes. Just making people look like they're in a hell of a lot of pain, not just slamming somebody and then hitting them.
Yeah.
Because ultimately that's what wrestling is. It's a multitude of different fighting styles kind of combined, and it's nice to see somebody go, a woman especially, and that's not to take away from the other performers, but a woman be like winning clean with a submission is nice to see. It's the same, for me, it's the same. Like the big revelation when there was talking about the women's revolution was when Charlotte, Becky, and Sasha all put their finishers on. I can't remember who it was. It was the two Bellas and Alicia Fox. Yeah, like you got to see three cool submissions from three up and coming like women's performers on the main roster. Like, yes, there we go. We're seeing depth. We're seeing levels of skill in the women's division. It's not just they put on a match.
Yeah.
And now Asuka, I'm guessing, is going to sit at the top of that division as soon as she comes to Raw.
And I would argue that Raw needs her more. To be honest, to me, that makes sense.
It makes sense, because it keeps her away from Charlotte.
Yes,
I think that needs to be more
that
building.
is going
Charlotte's
to be incredible.
Potentially, Charlotte doesn't mean much at the moment. I think she's been ruined on SmackDown.
I think that
Charlotte should not be a face, and since she has been face, she's done absolutely nothing.
I can't even tell you what she's been doing.
Well, she hasn't been there for exactly.
I was going to say
even before then.
I think things probably would have been different if it wasn't for a dad's incident.
I don't think it would, because
she's a natural heel, isn't she?
Yeah,
she's a natural heel.
Oh god, yeah.
Like, is it not being ill for her full face?
No, of course not. Though.
I've not enjoyed any of her work while she's face. Plus, with Nakamura going after the main title, if Nakamura does become WWE champion, then having Asuka as the women's champion all on the same brand could be too much, because neither of them can speak very good English. So I think that'd be a bit too much for the casual fans.
And with Kyrie saying possibly becoming the NXT Women's Champion down the line.
We can go a bit into more detail.
I think that'd be alright though, because it'd be on 3 different brands. But I'm thinking if you're having, cause I think we'll get into it, but with Nakamura, he's not done much speaking, and it's because he can't tell a story properly because of his struggles with English. And he's a great worker without a doubt. But I think if he was trying to tell, because it is a TV show, to tell that story, and having Asuka and Nakamura as the champions, then it could be quite difficult.
That's it. Like the talking points about the exchanges, the back and forth between the heels and the faces, it does make it extremely hard. And as we've seen, a lot of the times it's the heels that come over the better when it comes to the mic work. It doesn't matter if you're the best face talker in the world. Like a heel, like somebody like The Miz would rip anybody to shreds on the mic,
even if he was face, Miz would do that though. Miz is just
true.
Let's face it, I think Miz is playing the face role in this next segment. Miz TV with Enzo Amore.
Right. There's no way that The Miz is not the face in this.
The Miz coming out to announce
his wife is having a baby.
Yeah.
They're expecting. That's
amazing. That is incredible. That is
we're expecting a child. Like, even if you think I'm a bit of a dick, I've come out to share this news with you all. We're having a baby. Who comes out to ruin the moment? fucking Enzo Amore, the stupid little prick.
I loved it when Miz was like, "Don't you how you doing, my wife?"
Yeah.
And if you notice with Enzo as well, the cheers are getting less and less when he comes out.
Because he's a heel.
Yeah,
He's a dick.
On social media, he's a dick. He's a dick, and I just liked how Miz mentioned about being kicked off the bus and
I liked
out
that.
the locker room, and like
Is that realism though?
you didn't have an
You know,
option of going to 205 Live, taking your personality. That's the only place that you could go. And that nowhere can stand him, and I thought it was amazing. And then obviously they went into their match, and that was just brilliant. Like I think the question is like, ask who's the daddy. I thought that was like, ooh, it was blaring a bit of lines, but then it was just great seeing Miz ragdoll Enzo about. I love Miz too. This is like the Miz appreciation podcast.
It's the time of the week again where we spend a few minutes putting the Miz over. Not that he needs it, but
he certainly doesn't need it.
Shall we get a sound effect for when we start putting the Miz over?
But
I think you should.
During this TV though, I just Bo Dallas in the background when he told about the announcement of the baby, and he's just there, big smile, clapping away. I just love Miz Saraj. I think they're absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
And they're that good. We've even missed seeing a best Strowman match. We've kind of.
Oh yeah.
That happened.
That happened. Which doesn't make any sense, anyways, because Braun Strowman hit John Cena with the steps in front of the ref. The ref told him to get back in the ring. Braun slams Cena onto the steps. Then it's DQ.
I was thinking, I was watching it, I was like, that's surely a DQ.
Somebody fucked up there.
Surely DQ there the first time he was hitting with them. I was thinking the same thing.
And I don't want to kind of like make a future prediction that's maybe too on the nose, but if that's what he's doing against Cena, then I have a feeling that it's going to be a fuck finish against Lesnar. Like, he technically will decimate Lesnar for the title, but because of a fuck finish. Oh, he lost by count out or disqualification.
I don't think
something's
walking out with a belt at no mess.
Not on a B pay-per-view. If they were going to give it to them.
I don't think it. They could still give it on.
Does the B stand for Braun?
Because to be fair, it's no. I don't think it should be classed as a B, like a B1, because it's no mercy, and it kind of goes in with their storyline. And you say it'd be a stupid finish. I don't think it would, because it's playing into his character. His character's a deranged psychopath that put Brock through 2 tables, then flipped a table on him. He's walked away from an ambulance getting crashed and whatever. Like, it would play like I'd buy that if it was just a case of Braun gets carried away. Because if they was wanting to keep Lesnar with the title, then that's the way it should finish, because it keeps Braun strong, because Braun's just gone absolute ape shit, and it's playing into character, which that was something that annoyed me. Like, Brock Lesnar's supposed to be this beast, he doesn't give no shits. I'm sorry, but if I was Brock Lesnar and in real life Braun Strowman just laid me out, and I knew Braun Strowman was having a match later in that show, you can damn right if I'm Brock Lesnar, I'm coming down there to kick Braun Strowman's ass. Where with Brock Lesnar?
See, that would have made more sense. Like, you could argue Strowman is in the ring battering Cena, like he's just done that, he's done his reverse choke slam, or he's done his running power slam.
Paul Heyman and stop Brock Lesnar.
That's it. Lesnar
Brock
comes
has
running
bigger
down.
shits than Paul Heyman.
There you go. See, that would have made more sense. Like, rather than the steps and DQ kind of.
Yeah.
Was it why didn't the DQ?
Well,
if Lesnar was that he came out, he broke up the pinfall, like he pulled him out.
Yeah.
A very clear DQ. Oh, he pulled him out. He got physical with the competitors, and the two of them were battering each other.
Yeah. Well, I was sat there watching, and I was thinking Lesnar's coming out soon. Lesnar's going to come back out soon.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah, it's
To be
surprising.
fair, I was sat there like, this is WWE. Lesnar's got a big.
He's probably not even in the building now, is he? He's gone.
He's gone home. He's already in his
He's
back.
cashed his paycheck.
He's already in Sable. Yeah. But that, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, that was it really for Raw. The main event was the 8-man, wasn't it? With it.
Yeah.
Sorry, but why would you, when you've got John Cena versus Braun Strowman, have an 8-man tag as the close?
Yeah, I know.
That was really.
Which wasn't a bad match, but I wouldn't have closed
But it's not Braun versus
It's
Cena,
not.
is it?
It's not.
Yeah, when I've seen Jordan and Reigns, and then Reigns and Cena promo, then the Brock and Braun stuff, then Cena and Braun, and then Miz, Ragdoll and Enzo. By the time the main event was there, I was like,
knackered.
I ain't bothered about
Yeah.
this.
What could they possibly do to yeah? That's it.
I reckon they'll go for a fatal 4-way out and no mercy for a tag team. like tag title.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can see
probably.
that. I can see that. Smackdown, the Kevin Owens show.
The Vince McMahon show.
There's
Yeah.
only really one thing to talk about on SmackDown, isn't there?
Yeah.
One thing we've spoke about is the continuity throughout a show. 9 times out of 10, WWE will do it where it's one and done. They'll do the segment, then that's over with. And I'm glad, I'll use this term again, like they didn't blow the load, like in the segment. So Kevin Owens has come out, and then they could have easily had Vince come out and then do it all there. I like the little thing what they did with Dolph Ziggler coming out as Shane McMahon. I thought that worked, and then Bryan coming out, and then throughout the show you see Kevin Owens backstage a couple of times telling he's going to fire Sami Zayn, which was amusing, and then the stuff with Aiden English, but then to finish it off with Kevin Owens destroying Vince was...
That headbutt was awesome.
That headbutt looked awesome, but it was absolutely fucking stupid.
Go on, Kev.
Well, incredibly dangerous to do on a man that
72-year-old
Not
man.
even that. Look at Shibata.
Yeah.
He did a shoot headbutt on Okada, then he ended up having a bleed on the brain. I can't remember the correct medical diagnosis, but the hematoma. Thank you, Jamie. So why, when you know about all this,
It's Vince McMahon. He's a psychopath.
he can take one with the boys.
Yes. He will have told
It looked-
Owens to
He
nut
will
him
have
as
done, yeah.
hard as possible.
Yes, he will have done.
If you don't nut me as hard as possible,
You're
you're
fired.
fired.
I don't think it's just me and you lot might disagree, but I was watching and I was
It was a
thinking,
blur.
are they rehashing like an old storyline here? Is Kevin Owens going to become the next Stone Cold Steve Austin?
Slash
Shane's
CM
going to
Punk.
become the Vince?
they're towing a line. I
You
think
know, are we building up to something here?
I don't know, because this way
It's just something I thought I was watching it.
the authority, the ones that are the faces, Kevin Owens is the heel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Stone Cold
well,
Steve Austin.
No, but he's the one that's come in. You know, look at how good I am.
Yeah,
I'm a prize
yeah,
fighter. I'm delivered on the indies.
He's
No,
not
he-
a prize fighter.
He's no, but that's.
I just thought watching it.
Hey,
it just,
just rein it in. They're playing the game as though it's like that. They're playing it. They're trying to build it, as you said. Like he's going to be the new CM Punk. He's the guy that rebels against the.
that's
the
what I'm
authority.
getting. Yeah, that's what I was thinking watching him now. I'm like, something building up.
Well,
here,
sometimes
something's-
with Austin and Punk, like it was justified. This time, it's always just whining about like nonsense, and like Vince said, like the only reason he didn't hit Shane back was because Shane was beating his ass.
Yeah,
Like-
that was good. That was a good call.
You said a good point to me earlier, didn't you, about maybe eventually having Triple H, Kevin Owens.
Yeah, I think that might be why. Obviously, Steph came down because it's her old man that's just got.
I think it's an inside job.
What, really?
Yeah, I do. I think either Steph's in on it, or Steph and Triple H, and they're taking down WWE from the inside to get full control.
Yeah, but you think they're doing it wrong or SmackDown, wouldn't you?
You've got to start somewhere.
But I like the
Maybe
argument.
they want to get rid
obviously-
of. Maybe they want to take all the control off Shane,
Maybe.
and this
Maybe.
is just an elaborate setup to get the control off him.
Well, maybe. I would still like to see Triple H versus Kevin Owens, though. As like
Yeah,
a
it'd be
mark
good
for
match,
both
but
guys. But I do like your idea. That
It's
is
an inside
that
job.
that is a good idea. I do like that. But who
New
knows?
tag team champions.
They never. This not have a bad match. do
Never.
they? Never have
Never.
a bad match. Them two teams.
I just hope they have a Hell in a Cell, so it's so penitentiary.
I was a
That'd
bit
be
bittersweet.
yeah, yeah.
That's what I was going to say. I was bittersweet about that because after last week when you said put him in Hell in a Cell, it was just penitentiary. I was like, that's the match I want more than anything now. And then when the New Day won the titles back, I was like, it's just not going to happen now.
No,
It's,
New Day's winning it back could lead to it because obviously Usos got the
Rematch. Yeah.
But if Usos defended, then New Day are out of options. So I think this is the way, if they want to carry it on to Hell in a Cell, and hopefully they'll do, to put them inside the Hell in a Cell, because I think that'd be fucking brilliant.
I've seen a lot of I really like the match and I love all the exchanges that they've been having. But I've noticed that a lot of people, especially on the Bleach Report, were noting that they were sick of seeing this matchup over and over again. But I think they're not. It's not so much that they're sick of seeing those two teams against one another. It's the fact that there isn't any other teams that seem to be in the same level to be able to even make a dent and interfere.
Breezango, well, they could, but it's how it's being built. But
Yeah, because I mean,
Yes,
the Fashion
that-
Police are hilarious.
Well, where are they?
But
there was on
trying to find out who attacked Banger.
There was on 205 Live.
Well, what is that?
Right, first of all, me and Kurt. Secondly, they came to 205 Live,
it was amazing.
it was brilliant because
I didn't watch anything of 205 Live apart from their segment.
Drew Gulak came out and he was giving his PowerPoint presentation slide by slide. There's about 267 slides. He gets up to number 7. And I was deeply invested at this point. I wanted to hear every single point he made. And
I actually believe you do as well.
Drew Gulak's fantastic. And so is anything he does.
I'm about 757 episodes behind.
Right, I'll catch up. I'll just watch the latest one. And then the fashion police come out and they basically arrest him for being boring, having no style, impersonating Captain Underpants. And I was like, this is fantastic. They're bleeding the main roster into 205 and vice versa.
And it was somebody off SmackDown, but Tyler Breeze is starting to read Drew Gulak his rights whilst Dango's cuffing him. And it's like, what?
When he gets in his face and he's like touching his nose with his nose and like whispering in his ear, like real sexy. I was like,
no, watch this. I know. I don't watch this.
It was amazing, but I don't know how he kept it. He kept a straight face and stuff like that.
Well, that's it.
So Tyler Breeze starts like, you've got a right to a fashion advisor. If you can't afford one, we'll get one. And then, so he's got his handcuffs, and then as they're dragging him out, Drew Gulak runs away and he's running around the ring. So Breeze is on the mic like, get here, Jack, get here, idiot. And he's just chasing him around, and then Dango just like trips him up and they drag him away. I just thought they need to do more of
like
that.
old-fashioned pantomimes level.
I'll watch it for that. I'll check that out.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only reason I watched it.
I'll check it out.
I mean, I think the fashion police. I mean, we can all agree the fashion police are absolutely fantastic.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I didn't see that particular incident on 205 Live, but I have seen. I've been checking in with IGN on the update announcements for the roster for 2K18, and they had Breezango come down to kind of reveal more of the roster. And obviously they're doing it like before the taping, so it's 2 empty arenas. And they're walking down, and he's doing the kicks as he's coming down and doing the little dances. And then Tyler Breeze jumps. He's like, "Oh, watch this," because they've both got mics on. You see, he's like, "Oh, watch this," and he jumps over the barricade. He's in the crowd, and he's going, "Yeah, yeah!" And he walks past, and Fandango high fives him. He's like, "Oh, that was awesome!" And he rolls back over the barrier.
They're just having fun, aren't they?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's the two of them knowing how to keep
James says it. Look, he's just. He just gets his face, he's just rubbing his nose on it.
Callum's showing us the video, by the way, just for
it's so good. Everything they do is fantastic, but we need to watch the whole segment because, first of all, Drew Gulak is great. Are you enjoying his work yet? Because I feel like
I ain't really been watching too much of 205 Live, to be honest. I watched it to see what Enzo was doing, and then I watched it for that one. But I might check it out. Like,
I'll check it out just for that.
To be fair, what I saw of Drew Gulak, I was enjoying it. So I think I might check it out a little bit more than what I was. And yeah, it was just interesting that a Smackdown roster went to 205 Live with the Cruiserweight division on Raw. And
yeah.
It was, I don't know, Smackdown was weird. There was no Bobby Roode, no Nakamura.
It was all there as well.
No Randy Orton.
Who was covering the shifts then? Like
Jinder Mahal was talking about still, like Nakamura had... there was like the still pictures of Nakamura. He did alright considering Nakamura wasn't there, and I just laughed where it was like, Nakamura, you look like Pikachu having a seizure.
So on your list of like people you've got beef with now, we've got Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Nakamura, because we know you're not a Nakamura fanboy, you love your Jinder Mahal. So anyone else you want to add this week?
To be fair, right, so when he was in New Japan, I was a big fan of Nakamura. I think part of the reason why I go off these people is because of the fans, because they just try and bury anything.
Wrestling hipster is what he's saying. Because whenever they become popular or people start liking them, it's like, no, I'm off this bandwagon, let me off.
Hey, no, I'm still
I like them first.
Get me on the Jinder Mahal train. That's where
I'm
still on the AJ Styles one. Like, I like his work and stuff like that, but when people are complaining that Nakamura's not already WWE champion, it's like, bloody hell, he's been on the main roster for
I agree with
6 months.
Yeah.
Like, chill out. Just because he's not winning it doesn't make the product crap, and that's what that kind of what annoys me.
That's
and Sami Zayn, like, I'm a fan of his work. Like, he's started to put more personality into his character. It's just a case of, well, Sami Zayn should be in the world title. Really, when you've got people like Rusev that's not in it, Sami Zayn should not be in the title picture.
I think one week we should have a segment where we do like a wrestler room 101, where I give you like 4 wrestlers who you hate, and you can put one of them in room 101, get rid of one of them forever. So of those 3, who do you choose? Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Nakamura?
Oh, Sami Zayn will be gone.
Fucking hell.
Well, because from a business standpoint, Nakamura, obviously he's a great worker, plus he gets that Japanese demographic for him, and he's got that entrance and charisma to sell a lot of merch. Then when it comes to Kevin Owens or Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens shown more what he was like with Kevin Steen and with the whole Vince McMahon with the headbutt stuff, and I think he just offers a little bit more value.
I'm going to tag Sami Zayn in the next episode. Every tweet we do about the podcast, the next episode, I'm going to tag Sami Zayn.
I like Sami Zayn just for the record.
I like Sami Zayn.
I don't like.
Quite okay, you don't have an opinion anymore. You've
been blocked for 24 hours, don't worry
you
about
made
it.
your choice.
Yeah.
I don't like him, but he's just not world title material in my opinion.
That can be the quote for the next episode as well.
And on that bombshell, we're going to have a quick 5-minute break. I need a cig. We'll catch you in 5.
Hello, Kate Johansson here with this week's Haps and Graps, where I bring to you the up-and-coming UK wrestling shows. We're going to kick things off today with WAW and Bellatrix with their TV tapings. That's going to be September to Remember and Warriors Rise on 15th and 16th of September. Bellatrix kick things off in association with Rise USA and Shimmer as they present Warriors Rise on Fight TV, and that'll be live on iPay-per-view, featuring WWE Hall of Famer Medusa, also known as Alundra Blaze, Mae Young Classic semi-finalist Mercedes Martinez, GFW Impact Wrestling Knockout Rosemary, then there'll also be Saraya Knight, Bellatrix World Champion Alex Windsor, and Shotzi Blackheart, plus more. Then to WAW, that'll have 2 shows on Saturday the 16th of September that'll also be live on Fight TV. These shows will feature WWE Hall of Famer and WAW Commissioner Scott Hall, former WWE World Heavyweight Champion Jack Swagger, WWE's Daivari, WAW World Tag Team Champions the UK Hooligans Roy and Zack Knight. This weekend, we'll see 8 men battle it out to become the first ever WAW TV champion. And on show 1, it will see WWE star Daivari take on King Kendo, Liam Smedley, and son of Hall of Famer and WAW Commissioner Scott Hall, Japanese star Cody Hall in a fatal 4-way. The main event for show 1 will see the Undisputed World Tag Team Championship defended by Roy Knight, as Zack Knight isn't well enough to be defending. He will be defending him in tag team action of a fatal 4-way against Old School, Sigma, and a team that's going to be known as Super Swag with Kip Sabian and Jack Swagger. Show 2 will see a brand new match called Survival. This will be 20 men that start in the ring with ladders surrounding. Competitors can be eliminated via pinfall and submission in and around the ring. They will fight out until there are 4 men left who will then battle it out to climb the ladder and retrieve a contract for a match for the WAW TV Championship on the 9th of December. This weekend we'll also see Cody Hall and Jack Swagger go head to head in one of the biggest matches of WAW. If interested in these shows, these will be at the Epic Studios in Norfolk, Norwich. Tickets are available at www.wawuk.com, and again you can watch these live on Fight TV. Now to NGW New Generation Wrestling. They present Regeneration X at Hull City Hall on Saturday the 23rd of September, with 1,000 fans expected to come to this city of culture. This will have the UK sensation Grado, who will be making his NGW debut. Also making his NGW television debut is ITV Love Island reality star Adam Maxted, who has been making a name for himself on the UK and Irish wrestling scene, including a recent tryout with WWE. He won't be eased into things with NGW as he'll face the toughest man in UK wrestling, Rampage Brown. Also, new NGW champion Nathan Cruz will celebrate his historic 3rd title reign with a celebration party with Richie West and Rampage Brown. The 2nd annual Davey Boy Smith Cup is underway, and this will see last year's winner Zack Gibson face off with Bubblegum, and two guys who I believe are the future of British wrestling, Justin the Hammer Sison versus the unique Jake McCluskey. There's a golden opportunity as a tag match as the Riot Squad will face former NGW Tag Team Champion Sam Bailey and his new chosen tag partner Sona Durson. Also, Gen X Fatal 4-Way ladder match. This will see Robbie X, Kip Sabian and two more wrestlers to be announced to fight it for the vacant Gen X Championship. And in one of the most heated rivalries in NGW history that has seen the vindictive Joseph Connors torture fans' favourite Liam Slater for months, things get even more dangerous as Connors and Slater go head to head in a chain match. For tickets to NGW, these are available at www.ngwuk.com. Now, as a special addition to Haps and Graps, we'll go from the UK to Canada. For our listeners, we bring you CPW Canuck Pro Wrestling. I strongly believe CPW could be one of the next leading companies to come out of Canada, who are yet to debut but have got 10 shows planned from October 2017 through to January 2018. So it's safe to say these are wanting to make a huge splash onto the wrestling scene. They will be debuting on Saturday the 21st of October in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, as they present two shows called Without Honour that will feature a lot of wrestlers from Ring of Honour. These shows will feature The Kingdom, Dalton Castle, Shane Taylor, Bullet Club's Hangman Adam Page, Lucha Underground's Son of Havoc, and New Japan's and hometown star Davey Boy Smith Jr., plus many more. Show 1 will see the co-main event of Dalton Castle versus Adam Page and Matt Taven versus Shane Taylor. On Show 2 we'll see Dalton Castle versus Matt Taven and Adam Page versus Son of Havoc. CPW's third show will be on Sunday the 29th of October as they head to Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, with a stacked card that will feature stars from the UK and Irish wrestling scenes such as ICW's Insane Championship Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion Joe Coffey, Progress's Flash Morgan Webster, OTT's Session Moff Martina, and NXT and WWE UK star Danny Birch. Also appearing on the show, former WWE Tag Team Champions Kenny and Mike, the Spirit Squad, New Japan's David Boy Smith Jr. and GFW Impact Wrestling star Moose, who will be in a main event heavyweight action against Ring of Honor's Shane Taylor. Head over to www.canuckpro.com for tickets to these and any future CPW shows and information for CPW On Demand, which will be available from the 1st of October 2017 for $6.99. Thank you. If you know of any shows coming up that you think we should plug on this podcast, use the hashtag HapsandGraps and tag us in it at OneFallPod.
Welcome back. I'm now full of nicotine, so I'm ready to go.
Jesus.
Sorry. Right, welcome back. I'm going to hand over to Mr. Callum McInnes. Blooper again. What's your name on it then?
Imagine that's the camera from The Office, right? And you know when they look at the camera, like, well, disproving them.
I'm
That's what I'm going to do from now on.
Going to hand over to Mr. Callum McInnes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Right, so...
How do I get your name wrong twice?
Twice. In 5 episodes.
I know, right?
Right, so
Fucking
last
hell.
week, I did this poll. We're calling this segment the Pollcast, which was from the brainchild of Kurt Johansson. It is who should be the next first-time world champion in WWE? The 4 options were Sami Zayn, Shinsuke Nakamura, Cesaro, and Bobby Roode. Now, let's all pick one. Who would you want?
Bobby Roode? Yeah, Bobby Roode all day long.
Jamie?
Bobby Roode.
For me, Bobby Roode makes the most sense.
But who would you want if you can pick just one?
Realistically, Cesaro, because I think Cesaro is fantastic.
Were you one of the 8%?
You was the one that voted Cesaro.
Yeah. You did, didn't you?
I did.
Well, I'd have chosen Shinsuke Nakamura. I love Shinsuke.
So why would you, out of all them, why would you go for Nakamura?
I'm just a massive Nakamura mark. I always have been, and I think it would just be so cool to see Nakamura at the top of WWE. For me, is the complete package. He might not have promo skills like you mentioned earlier when you buried Shinsuke,
Well, I wasn't burying him.
We've got plenty of time for you to bury all the other 3 people. Like,
hey, I like Cesaro.
No, you don't. But
Because you didn't vote for him.
You didn't
That's
vote
why you
for
don't
him.
like him.
if you don't vote, then you can't complain. That's okay. So I'd have voted for Shinsuke Nakamura. That's just me.
Bobby Roode, man.
Why would you have voted for Bobby Roode?
Bobby Roode is just the epitome of what a wrestler should be.
Yes.
He is going to take Smackdown to the edge level. I've been saying this for so long.
When I said earlier that Jamie doesn't offer anything valuable to discuss, I take that back. I agree with you.
You take that back completely.
But what Jamie does is Jamie just sits back while you two write the podcast for the night.
I take it back 75%. There's still 25% that kind of.
I just don't write down what you two are writing down. I join in when it's done.
You're the host.
Yeah, so I host. I don't know what I've got to fucking say.
You're the Ron Burgundy of the podcast.
I'm the Ron Burgundy. I will take that all day long. With a magnificent beard.
You're a moron.
I'm a moron. I'll take that.
I'll sit up straight and look into that camera.
So you agree with Jamie completely?
Yeah, Bobby Roode is, well, pun intended, glorious.
Fantastic.
I think it's,
nice pun.
It is a bit like, I'll bring it back to Miz since it's always a Miz appreciation podcast. Like, he just looks like a champion, he carries himself as a champion, and like what James said, is the epitome of what a professional wrestler should be like, in my opinion.
And I genuinely believe he can take SmackDown to the level Edge did. I really do. I've been a Roode fan since day one. You know, I think the guy is everything that should be, you know,
it's great to see. Like, I remember sitting and watching the Bound for Glory series where he just got out of being in the tag team of being when he was James Storm. He'd gone through it, and then he was facing Kurt Angle to become the world champion for the first time. Kurt Angle screws him to win. Then James Storm wins it the following Impact taping, and then Roode turns heel, and then Roode became, in my opinion, the best champion on TV when he was doing the It Factor and he was playing the heel champion in TNA. He was the best champion in any company at that point, in my opinion. And I even believe The Rock came out and said that at that point Bobby Roode's the best thing in wrestling for the way he was. He's just a star.
No, I agree. He is a star, definitely.
He won the fucking poll, man.
Right, you don't spoil it. I was going to give the
Before you already told
the
them.
fucking results out at the end.
Come on, man.
Right. So
you shake your beard off. You deserve
why
it.
did you choose Cesaro?
I chose Cesaro because of the 4, he's got the longest tenure with the company. He has proven that he is a competent tag team and singles performer. He has got multiple championships under his reign. They even referenced, and went a little ways into try and rectify it when Stone Cold had Vince McMahon on his podcast and he was saying, why isn't somebody like Cesaro grabbing the brass ring? You know, and they made him a talking point and basically said he is not perfect, and they said why he isn't perfect. So on a podcast like this, they explained what he had to do to get better, and he did those things. He has had incredible matches with everybody you could possibly think of. He had one of those most talked about moments in SummerSlam when he ran and he sabotaged the beach ball fucking craze from the crowd.
That's grabbing the brass ring.
That is grabbing the brass ring. That is both being a heel and a face. That is completely breaking the immersion between wrestling and fandom. There are so many things right about him that at this point I don't feel like they have an excuse apart from it's not right for the storyline now.
I don't think he's ready. I think you need to rebuild him as a singles competitor. He was on top for a while, but then he had that poor singles run, and then he was a Tyson kid for a bit, and now he's been with Sheamus for so long. I still think it's going to need a lot of work to polish him to be how hot he once was to being in the position of champion. I think
you can do it with Jinder. You can definitely do it with Cesaro.
But not everybody's the modern day Maharaja.
You like him?
He looks like a champion. He carries
so
himself.
Cesaro, put that guy in a suit.
You can. We know if you look back, you can see the reason why it didn't work out, and it's because after the initial Andre the Giant Battle Memorial Battle Royal, when he won the trophy.
Didn't they put him with Heyman after
They
that?
put him with
Maybe
Heyman, and
didn't
they only put him with Heyman so that Heyman could come out and talk about Lesnar, which is a real shame because they just stepped over somebody who is.
I don't think it was.
But Heyman outright came out and he said that. He said that when he was doing all of his spoken word tours. He said, unfortunately, that is what we had to do so that I could stay on TV and keep talking about Lesnar, which fucking sucks because you think it's sapping all of that attention away.
You can
Cesaro.
I just think it was a case of, as well, like, they did it with Curtis Axel, like, just putting somebody with him doesn't work.
No.
Cesaro should never have gone with Paul Heyman. Curtis Axel, potentially, yeah, that could have worked, but I think Cesaro was somebody that just really didn't need Heyman. Like you said, yeah, it might have stepped over with Brock Lesnar, but...
And you could argue as well, Cesaro winning the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, that was the start of the curse of winning that.
Well, look
as
at
well.
Baron Corbin, it took him about a year to kick on.
Look at Mojo Rawley.
He's just shite anyway.
I'll tell you something Cesaro didn't win, and that was this poll. He got 8%.
He came last.
Who won the poll?
It was, I'll do it in ascending order. So, Cesaro with 8%.
Thanks
Yeah.
for James's one vote.
Shinsuke Nakamura with 25. Then we had Sami Zayn. Okay. Sami Zayn came second with 33%.
But guess what? Bobby Roode came first.
With 34%.
Whether it's 33%. Like, even if it was 33.5%.
No, I agree. That's
The
how
thing is,
poll
Bobby
works.
Roode-
Is it like the Inshaw Mile
Doesn't
mentality?
matter.
He won.
Winning is winning, and Bobby Roode won.
Alright, so...
I'm quite baffled by how many people thought Zayn would be ready to be champ. I just don't buy it.
I think it was maybe wishful thinking.
People was wanting Zayn to be the next Daniel Bryan, and I think they was kind of trying to go with that underdog mentality route kind of thing. But
When he was feuding with Strowman,
There's still time. There's plenty of time.
He could definitely get there, but to be the next one, that means I can't see Zayn getting it before Nakamura or Roode.
Plus, I still think the teasing something was in and Owens.
Again, we mentioned this most
Yeah.
weeks though.
I think they're still teasing something with them too. I really do.
It'll probably just lead to an Owens and Zayn feud again because they're creatively incompetent.
Right, so we need a new poll for next week. So, any suggestions, guys?
No?
No suggestions. Great input. This is what Jamie brings to the show.
So later in our free camp, we're going to discuss the Mae Young Classic. We're going to talk about what other tournaments we'd like. So why don't we ask on Twitter
That's a good one.
what
There we go.
tournament so we can do? Would you like a heavyweight tournament? The tag team like Dusty Classic? Would you want that as a different format similar to Mae Young Cruiserweight UK? Women's tag team? Or other, and then if people have got other suggestions, then
I like it. We'll do that next week then.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
let us know in the comments and let us know on Twitter.
That's the podcast done. Time for our three count. What we think are the three hottest topics in the week. So I'm going to kick it off with the Undisputed Era, Cole Fish O'Reilly.
What do you think? What do you think to the name, boys? Like,
I'm unsure on it.
Can I just say as well, our producer messaged me during the show saying he's only just realised what CFO stands for. Because you know that's on the logo of the t-shirt?
Cole Fish O'Reilly.
Yeah, Cole Fish O'Reilly.
Wow.
He said he feels like an idiot now.
Oh dear.
And for those that are listening, he actually looks like one as well.
Wow.
Cheap
I've
shot.
got to get a cheap shot in somewhere. I've got to build my character back up, man.
He lets us use his equipment. He does a lot of work for us.
I've been ripped on this podcast.
Heel host for sure.
Wow. Okay, so the
Me,
Undisputed Era.
James, and Callum appreciate
I appreciate our producer.
I appreciate you.
I'll pick him up and take him home. I
Unnamed
appreciate that.
producer.
Yes.
Right, we don't want to know if you pick him up and take him home. That's for a different podcast. So, let's get back to the Undisputed
Undisputed
Era.
Era. Fish, O'Reilly, Cole,
CFO.
CFO.
Not FCO.
Shock the system. What do you think to the name?
I'm not sure on it.
I was quite baffled.
I like the name. I
Have they-
don't get why.
Have they actually confirmed this officially? The
It's
Undisputed
on
Era?
the WWE.com for merch. So
Right.
it shows Undisputed Era. On the back, it's got the tagline, "Shock the System," and if you clicked on the site, it shows it's like the Undisputed Era clothing. So then obviously everything's going to be under that. So
I'm not sure.
I don't
know what it means.
I don't mind "Shock the System" as a tagline because it kind of sums up how they are. They're very reactive.
What if they lose the first match? Then they're not undisputed.
The Undisputed Era, yeah, and an era as well. That signifies, especially with the way that the Fed worked, the Attitude Era.
But it's an era in NXT. Like they're saying it's their era. Like it's their NXT now. And
would the Undisputed have been a better name, perhaps?
Yeah, something more conclusive, and you're putting a time period on it as well.
syllables.
I know you didn't like it, but I really liked the Dishonored. I know you didn't like it.
I like the Dishonored.
You liked it. I know Kate didn't like it. If I understand your reasons.
If it was in Ring of Honor, then yeah, that'd be great.
That would have been.
But it's just a slight nod to it. It's not like a direct reference.
Yeah,
Nah.
And then if they ever turn face down the road,
but do you like the Undisputed Era?
I don't mind it.
What does it mean though?
I don't know. When I first saw it, I was like,
I'm unsure on that name.
To be fair, it could be called Tom, Dick and Harry for all I care. So like, if they carry on
this is why you're not in charge of creative.
No, if they carry on doing like the work that they've done, I like how it's different. It's who don't they like? So they came in and they attacked Revival, they attacked Authors of Pain, then they've attacked Sanity on the tapings as well. Who else have they attacked? Drew McIntyre, and now they've gone to attacking Pete Dunne. And it's as if they're just going to attack anybody.
Wolfgang as well.
Yeah. But that's why I like the tagline "Shock the System." Like that, it does make sense because if the system is the Fed, then that's what they're doing. They're creating this instability all among the ranks. It doesn't matter if you're a tag team, if you're a singles competitor, if you're a good guy or a bad guy, or in a title picture, you're not. The only thing arguably that they haven't done is attacked any women performers, and obviously that's.
That would shock the system.
That would incredibly shock the system, but that's obviously something that the Fed do very precariously nowadays, and understandably. I'm still undecided.
What did you think? So going back, we didn't cover NXT because we knew we was going to talk about these, and so Pete Dunne and Wolfgang put on a good match, and I liked how the three of them ran into the ring. Pete Dunne sheepishly backing off, drops the title, and then he just runs at Kyle O'Reilly with a forearm. I'm like, yes, you are actually kicking shit.
It was cool to see.
And then they're doing the 3-on-1 beat down, so the UK colleague Wolfgang gets in, tries to make the save, and then Pete's like, cheers mate, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
And then it did the bit where it was like built up aggression. And then he ran back to the ring as if he was going to make the save, but then he just got the belt and then fucked off.
Yeah.
And I thought that was brilliant from him. And then obviously Cole, O'Reilly, and Fish went through like the crowd, and then Tyler Bate and Trent Seven, Mustache Mountain or British Strong Style, whatever you want to call them, came out to save Wolfgang. A bit too late because the guys had already fucked off, so it wasn't really much of a save. But so I wonder if they're going to go with. Because I've not put Pete, Trent and Tyler together on NXT TV. It's always been Trent and Tyler that's been acknowledged. So I wonder if they're going to do Mustache Mountain and Wolfgang versus Cole, Fish, O'Reilly down the line.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. Well, what they might do is they might, because Wolfgang is a big guy, they might have a 3-on-3 match like that. Wolfgang gets injured backstage.
Yeah.
Who has to come out to fill the numbers?
That's got to be it.
Yeah. Suddenly.
Pete,
there he is. Yeah. The reluctant tag team partner.
I think they need to drag it out a little bit, but I think they need. I can just imagine the reaction. What if it's in Full Sail? What they'll do if Pete does come out and make that save and save Tyler and Trent, and it's for the first time you see.
I can see that being a takeover. That
Houston.
match. Yeah, it would be Mustache Mountain. With Pete Dunne, British Strong Style.
Yeah, or for example, if it is supposedly Mustache Mountain and Wolfgang's attacked backstage, and then it's going to have to be a 3-on-2.
Yeah, that's what James was just saying. Yeah, then Pete Dunne.
But then if you do that actual takeover, and it's not a segment on Full Sail.
Yeah.
So it's like, they start wrestling as a 3-on-2. They're getting the beat down, and then Pete comes running out and
Roof will come off the building.
makes that save.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I can't
Then
see
I'd
that
piss-
alliance
I'd piss
lasting
if
long.
If Pete, but what if Pete does a swerve
And
and
joins.
just joins Cole?
I can see him doing that. Yeah, definitely. He don't give a shit about Tyler Bate and
Trent
Seven. He don't give a shit.
in the NXT world.
Yeah, in the NXT universe.
But it would be great to see British Strong Style versus the Undisputed Era.
That's a match I think we all want to see, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Take over Houston.
Take over
I
Houston.
think so. I think it
Yeah.
can happen. GFW not selling. El Patron returning.
Has El Patron returned?
He's returning. So there was loads of speculation whether he might be done with the company or not, following the incident with Paige, which led to his suspension and being stripped of the Global Force Championship. Various different news sites like Observer and PW Insider have been saying whether or not he might be done with the company because he's only got, like say, 6 months left on his contract. Rumours has it that he was supposed to face Rey Mysterio at Bound for Glory, but Rey Mysterio doesn't seem to be going there now, and then it was supposed to be Jeff Jarrett and Al Patron. Obviously Jarrett, we spoke about him departing last week. But yeah, he's been confirmed by, is it John Gaburek? He confirmed that El Patron will be back for Bound for Glory and
right.
tapings afterwards.
Fair enough. I actually didn't think he was going to come back to the company after what happened, but
I have no interest in El Patron.
I feel like he's got unfinished business there. It should at least tie up the Patron story.
If he comes back as a heel, it'll be brilliant because
Yeah.
when he did his work in Lucha Underground before he returned to WWE, I thought it was brilliant.
I was enjoying it.
His stuff with Johnny Mundo was class. With Tejana was really good. So I think, heel El Patron going against the company, he was wrongfully stripped, and especially the way it happened because obviously when he beat Bobby Lashley on his first night and then he got revoked because he used the belt, and then he finally gets it back only to be stripped because of an incident. Like, it'd be a great way to turn him heel, I think. I think it could be really compelling story. But so Jamie mentioned GFW not selling, so he seen much into that.
GFW not selling.
Yeah, so there's the rumours with Jeff
they're
Jarrett
gonna
going
sell.
out, they're going to sell up, like it's hemorrhaging cash. Anthem want out, and
To be honest, it's every year the same thing, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
TNA, GFW are going out of business, or it's every year
I
it's the
tell you
same
what,
thing.
it's when the apocalypse happens, cockroaches and TNA or GFW will be the only 2 things still living because
hey, the survivors.
they survive.
And I don't think so. Like I said earlier, no one wants a wrestling company to go out of business.
Yeah.
No.
But so Ed Nordholm in an interview came out and said people who are talking that we're selling the company are wrong. We are investing in the company every month.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that they're sticking with it, and hopefully Jarrett will return to the fold. But having people like Dutch Mantel, Scott D'Amore, and Bruce Pritchard as part of like that creative, I still think they're in really good hands. And
who else is back on GFW TV now?
some idiot called Jim Cornette.
Oh God.
I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
I was just going to say he's here, isn't he? Do your
I'm
impression.
not going to do it. No, you say it's shit.
Go on,
Motherfucker! There we go.
Told you guys, it's shit.
I think it's the best impression going.
Who did he say it sounds like, Ellie? Paul Bearer?
More like Paul
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
While we're talking GFW, Kate, Zima Ion,
yeah.
I'll leave this one for you.
So Zima Ion, like some of you listeners might know, when he was wrestling in Mexico about 3-4 months ago, he took, I believe, a 450 splash, and he was in a bad shape. He passed out in the hotel, having to crawl out in the lobby because he couldn't stand up, and with the language barrier, it was hard to work out what he'd done, but he ruptured something in his stomach that almost killed him. He had to have emergency surgery in Mexico, and yeah, so he was like scared for his life, and like 5 months afterwards he's wrestling again, and GFW highlighted it. They did Jeremy Borash did a really good package on it, showcasing GFW in AAA for the Triple Mania pay-per-view, and it was Zima was talking about like he didn't want to wrestle in Mexico ever again. Like, obviously from what he went through, I can't blame him. But he wrestled at the biggest show of the year in Mexico in front of like 25,000.
Triple Mania.
Yeah, representing GFW, teaming with Andrew Everett in a tag team match, and I've always liked him for years. He's held the X Division, whilst it was probably going on the weaker side of it and not getting much attention from creative. Zima always put on great matches.
He was the workhorse.
Absolutely.
Him and Trevor Lee at the last Bound for Glory did an absolute fantastic match, and it was he was holding it up, like the way that the X Division on his shoulders. And now that the X Division's getting put into the line, like, I can't wait until he's actually back on the GFW TV screens. And
it baffles me how he isn't a bigger name than he is. Not to take away from what he's done, because he is a big name in the X Division. He's a big name, well, a fairly big name in Mexico. But I just don't understand how he's not always booked in the UK. How he's not like heading towards the top of any promotion that he's in.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got so much charisma. He's got a good look.
Well, speaking of his look, did you see? So I
saw that video.
The video.
Wow.
And so he, to the listeners, if you've not seen it, he comes out. Think of Naomi crossed with Chris Jericho.
Yeah, I would have said Daft Punk meets.
Definitely Daft Punk.
You know, like big shoulder pads, like the helmet with the chest plate, all neon, flashing LEDs, incredibly vibrant, incredibly like just like a look kind of unparalleled that we've seen.
Like I was blown away by it. So could you imagine if you're a child and you're watching Zima on live and he comes out dressed like that? They're going to be blown away by it. I think with his in-ring skills, his personality, and I was speaking to him and he was saying that he wants to be different than the typical independent wrestler. He wants to be known for certain things. So like his entrance attire sets him apart from everybody else. And like if he was in the cruiserweight, like the 205 Live in WWE, I think he'd kill it. Like he'd rival level because could you imagine? With WWE's production, he's coming out with that LA.
That would be amazing.
Exactly, and I can't wait until he returns to GFW with those lights. Like he'll be wrestling at Bound for Glory, I imagine.
No, I want to see him on 205 Live though. Him versus Neville.
What a match!
Exactly.
Yeah. What a match!
Like I tweeted hoping that What Culture, like, so somewhere like What Culture with the production values that they've got. It'd be brilliant to see that entrance attire coming out.
Yeah, definitely.
In What Culture, and it's that like he works Southside a lot for the UK, so and I think he's quite booked up for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
But hopefully he'll get another tour and come over in 2018 and bring that the entrance gigs. I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah. Well, I think I can say on behalf of all of us at this podcast, we're just glad that he's back.
Yeah, we're glad he's back.
Because he's a special talent and we enjoy watching him.
Yeah, and I'll watch any promotion that he's part of.
Me too. Finally, Mae Young Classic. Should it be an annual event? We touched on this on the podcast, but you know, should it be?
Yeah, I think all the tournaments should be annual events.
A future brand.
It adds importance to them.
I think this has been the most successful tournament.
Yes, it has in terms of viewership.
Yeah, I think it's been an incredibly vital thing for the network, and I think it's because of things like the this reintroduction of like the retro women's wrestling, like the original Glow documentary, and then the Netflix series of Glow, like suddenly making a huge resurgence.
They had the cast of Glow at the final.
That's cool as fuck.
So they did like a red carpet thing, and they had like Charlotte, Bayley, Becky Lynch there, Ronda Rousey, but they had like the cast of Glow. So I'm sure Awesome Kong was.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Awesome
she was a
Kong
part of it. Yeah,
and
that's another thing as well. Like if you, I mean, I watched Glow, the series, and there's all kinds of nods to wrestling. Like Johnny Mundo's in there, Chavo Guerrero was behind the scenes teaching them all how to wrestle.
Christopher Daniel.
Yeah, that's it. The amount of like Carlito, the
Alex
amount
Riley
of
was
people.
brilliant.
Yeah, that's it. There are so many to like list off the top of our heads, but it's absolutely, it's fantastic. And coming off of the back of this air quotes women's revolution, it's nice to see the independent women performers given a chance, the same way that the UK tournament has given all of our British guys a chance to make an impression on the Fed, and the same way that all of the international cruiserweights have been given a chance in the Fed as well.
Like, I think it's been fantastic. Like, everybody's looked really good. Like, there's been some that was wrestling their first matches ever. Like, they've come from different martial art backgrounds and things like that. I thought it was great to set the tone for Shayna Baszler, introducing Kairi Sane, who was the winner. I thought that was brilliant. Mercedes Martinez, somebody that's been about, done it all, like, finally got there. I think she absolutely killed it. And Toni Storm, Piper Niven. I think it's been great.
It's been an all-round success for the company, hasn't it?
Well, it's been getting better views than NXT.
Yeah.
So,
so
Dave Meltzer reported on week 2 of the Mae Young Classic that week's NXT got beat by the previous week's Mae Young Classic, but that week. So even when it was a week old, it was still beating new NXT content and stuff like that. Because it's been fantastic. I'd hope it's an annual event, whether or not they do 32 again. They might want to
knock it down to 16 and kind of short.
Do you think people who have already competed in the tournament should be allowed another chance next year?
See, now this is another thing, because
depending where they are,
that's it. It depends on the promotion. It depends on whether or not they're holding any championships. There's all kinds of things that come into this, but it does also make you wonder if they were to reintroduce, say, the King of the Ring as well. That would mean that there are 4 rotating tournament format shows that would be revolving around, like, arguably every quarter on the network. You have the Mae Young Classic, the Cruiserweight Classic, the UK tournament, and the King of the King of the Ring, which is a format that I miss. So for me, these tournaments are scratching that itch for me. But King of the Ring for me is.
It used to be amazing.
It was technically.
Then the winner would get a shit gimmick.
Yeah.
Well,
here's a crown and a scepter now.
That worked for King Booker. Yeah. But then it didn't work for anybody else.
King Barrett.
Yeah, that was in the waning years, but years ago, that's it. We're talking mid-90s through to maybe 2004, 2005 time. Almost every year there was a talking point. I remember, like, very clearly the 2000, the 2001, the 2002, when you saw that, like, people like Kurt Angle, Edge, and Brock Lesnar all being named, winners, like, creating, like, incredible moments. Like the King of the Ring 2001 is one of my favourite pay-per-views of all time, because so many things happened at that pay-per-view. That was where the Shane McMahon Kurt Angle street fight happened, where Shane got put through the pane of glass.
Amazing.
Absolutely incredible.
One of them was actually proper glass.
Got put through the wrong pane, didn't he?
That's it. And I realised I'll kind of rein it back in, but for me the King of the Ring format is a tried and true format that does work. And the fact that these tournaments are working so well is a testament to the fact that people miss it. Yeah. Whether you've got people in the Fed working it or not is irrelevant, because now, like, because of people like Triple H, because of people like Regal and all of these creatives and agents that are wanting to inject new life into the Fed, we've got a showcase for women, a showcase for cruiserweights, a showcase for the UK talent. It's absolutely fantastic. So, where would we want to see things go from here?
Yeah, definitely. I want to see more of these tournaments. I don't care what they are. I like James
we all
saying.
like tournaments. One of my favourites was WrestleMania 4 for the tournament, and all that night. Everyone loves the tournament.
But this is something we can discuss more of next week, because we'll have the poll results, and we can all discuss what tournaments we want to see going forward.
Would you do an all-female brand for the network if it was billed at full sale?
You know what? Yeah, I would.
And you just have them compete for the NXT women's, so it'd just be an extension to NXT,
but just a women's brand.
Yeah. So developing the women, like, and fine-tuning them ready for the main roster, instead of just giving them that, like, 10-minute slot on NXT. Give them a full show.
Exactly. And you've seen like Nikki and Brie in the past. You've seen, like, the 4 horsewomen. You've got Peyton and Billy, and then this past NXT you had Ruby and Nikki, where it actually looked quite good having them up on there. If you do a women's brand, would you do a women's tag team title? And would that be a tournament to do?
Yeah, I was saying this to Jamie the other day. Bring back the well, not bring back,
It
bring
worked
in
well. It worked well with
an
knockouts at
NXT
some point
women's tag
until.
titles.
Well, no, I mean, but we're talking in the 80s. There were WWF Women's Tag Team Championships.
Yes, there were.
They did exist back then.
And
Lock and
Yeah.
the current NXT Tag Team Champion was a Knockouts Tag Team Champion.
There we
in
go.
TNA with his kayfabe wife ODB.
Eric Young.
Eric Young. There you go. But
So yeah,
well,
bring
great.
it in, bring it in.
Right. Well, on that bombshell, it's time to wrap it up. Thank you for listening. I'm going to let the
Social
boys
media.
plug our social media.
Okay, so do you want to give your Twitter name first?
I am the OWCW.
Okay,
at Kate Johansson 93.
James.
At Roman Oyster.
Anything else you'd like to plug? Because we usually plug Davidium at the
Oh,
start
yeah,
of every show, and you're not here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Never.
Yeah.
Yeah, my band Davidium, you can find them on all social media. And my gaming YouTube channel, Gamers Assemble, you can find them on Twitter, on YouTube. Yeah, check it out.
Sweet. And you can find me, as usual, at Palace of Wisdom on Twitter. And you can find anything to do with One Fall Podcast at One Fall Pod. Send us your emails and suggestions at onefallpod@gmail.com.
Okay. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next time.
Peace.
Peace.